Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to CelebCraze. Mr. Sinister. Mr. Sinister is an X-Men villain who is ageless and can clone himself. Combinator thinks the villain would be the perfect vessel for Cage. The Redditor has a great argument for the casting too, noting Sinister interacting with endless clones of himself would be a daunting challenge for most other actors, but provide the perfect release for Nick Cage's inner Nick Cage. The Redditor makes a great point as several clones of the characters, which means multiple versions of Cage on the screen at the same time, could be the optimal scenario for Cage to act as Moe's Uncage. The mutants probably won't be introduced until Phase 7, so fans would have to wait a little to see the actor in the MCU, but it'll be totally worth it. Dr. Connors. Han the Scoundrel thinks Cage would make a great Dr. Connors, the professor who teaches Peter Parker and turns into a lizard. The Redditor comments, I really like Nick Cage in his mentor roles. He does a good job looking like someone who really wants their apprentice or student, etc. to succeed. I honestly wouldn't mind seeing him play Dr. Connors. The lizard has been oversaturated in the Spider-Man movies. Dr. Connors appeared in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy, was the primary antagonist in the Amazing Spider-Man and returned in No Way Home, but with Cage in the role, he could put enough of a twist on the character to make it fresh. And Cage in the role would be worth it for the inevitable scene where Connors first transforms into a lizard alone, Ghost Rider. Juan Canu notes that there's only one character Cage can play in the universe, explaining, you all remember he was a Ghost Rider, right? As bad as the movies were, I still like them. The most logical character Cage could play in the MCU is Johnny Blaze, as he already played the character in not one, but two Ghost Rider movies. This could especially work given that the multiverse saga is in full swing, and the universe is bringing back characters from other franchises. He could even return in a Midnight Suns movie, which is a superhero team that includes supernatural Marvel heroes such as Ghost Rider, Blade, and Doctor Strange, and fans hope Midnight Suns is the secret September 2024 MC release. Norman Osborn. Spider-Lander thinks Cage would make a great Green Goblin, asking Reddit, Norman Osborn maybe? It's unlikely given that Willem Dafoe returned to play the character in No Way Home, and it was hinted that Ned could become the Hobgoblin. Unfortunately, there isn't much room for another Goblin character, even if Cage would suit the character perfectly. But as Sony is building a whole universe out of Spider-Man's villains, there is one glaring omission, the Green Goblin, who is the most iconic villain of them all. So at the very least, Cage could play the character in the Sony Spider-Man universe instead of the MCU. In fact, Cage's unpredictable and theatrical approach to acting might be more of a fit for the incoherent tone of the Sony movies. Mephisto. Mephisto has been rumored to appear in the MCU for years now, and it all started when the villain was heavily hinted at in WandaVision. The antagonist is essentially Marvel's version of the devil, and this deleted user thinks Cage should be cast in the role. The Redditor posts, his brand of overacting would usually suit him pretty well. The user is not wrong, as all of the best on-screen depictions of the devil have been ridiculously over the top, whether it's Al Pacino in The Devil's Advocate, Peter Stormare in Constantine, or even Dave Grohl in Tenacious D and The Pick of Destiny. Cage could channel his most outrageous roles like Castor Troy in Face Off for the performance. Doctor Doom. While everyone has their own actor choice for Doctor Doom in the upcoming Fantastic Four, user Johnny_MC2 thinks there's no better choice than Cage. The Redditor comments, I think he could really go over the top and play a good Doom. Interestingly, it almost happened years ago, as Cage was originally cast as Doom in the 2005 Fantastic Four movie. The original approach to the movie was incredibly dark and apparently much closer to being rated R, which sounds worlds apart from the final result of the silly and very family-friendly 2005 release. However, that concept also sounds perfect for the upcoming Fantastic Four movie in the MCU. And it would be fairly poetic if Marvel Studios cast Cage as the character 17 years later. Shocker, it seems as if Redditors really want to see Cage in a Spider-Man movie. While he does voice Spider-Man Noir in the beloved animated movie Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, fans clearly want to see him in a live-action role. J_Fo_Film thinks the actor would make a great Shocker even though the character briefly appeared in the MCU in Spider-Man Homecoming. The Redditor explains, "I would have thought he'd make a good Shocker. I don't really know why, but I just do. Audiences know Cage's sinister grin all too well, which is probably why users are quick to attach his name to villains, but it's certainly easy to imagine him as the powerful mercenary for hire."